Hello and welcome to a game of Dota 2. You're watching StarSeries and this is day 16 and we're seeing game number 5. Well, I say game number 5, but actually it's game number 4. There were 6 games planned today. One of them got rescheduled. If there were 6 games, this was number 5, but with the rescheduled game, this is number 4. So Power Rangers will be up against Fnatic in this one. Power Rangers on the Dire side, Fnatic on the Radiant side, who are using a stand-in. It is Misery standing in for Hani, who is not here right now. And of course, I'm not by myself today. No, I'm joined by 2 others. Well, almost was going to say 3 others. That would be scary, but no, 2 others. We have got Nahaz here. We'll be doing the stats inside the game client. And of course, with me also is my co-caster, Vikkerman. Welcome back.
Thanks. Someday it'll be 3, because someday we'll have dedicated obs, yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be tough. It's not as easy to have a dedicated obs.
I want to try to be a dedicated obs.
In StarCraft. Yeah?
I think I can be very good, like listening to the main caster and following their train of thought. I'm normally very okay with that.
It's also so much easier to like spot things happening on the map when you don't have to talk. Like, this is gonna sound a little like self-pitying, but like it really, people who don't like, it's actually really hard to both cast and like control the camera. It's a huge pain in the ass.
It's even worse when you're solo casting, like at least like, especially in the early game, because there's quite a bit of pressure on you to not miss first blood. But if you have a co-caster, he can just talk some, and you can just scout out those health bars on the top and just see like, oh my god, where do I watch? But it's yeah, it's pretty tricky. Can be pretty tricky at least. We've got Power Rangers playing on the Dire side. Of course, they have banned out Darkseer as well as a Bat Rider, with the IO and the Visage being banned out by Fnatic. And we have got OD and Naga Siren picked up for Fnatic as the second and third pick, with the first pick going to Power Rangers, who managed to secure themselves a Weaver. So a pretty comfortable hero for them. I do like already Fnatic's heroes though, so very strong. Oh, and with Hani not there, does No-Tail play mid again, or is Misery mid?
Oh, I think No-Tail, in my opinion, No-Tail is just gonna be the mid for a while.
No, they swapped. They swapped back.
Oh, they swapped again?
They made a post about it somewhere, and they swapped again, putting Hani back mid.
What was the rationale? I didn't see that post.
I don't know what the rationale. It might be that they didn't have that much success with it. The one thing that
it takes a while. Like,
I know that's what that was my comment as well. Like, doesn't it take about like 3 weeks, 4 weeks to get used to maybe to a position before you can actually tell if it works or not?
Oh, I think much longer if you haven't No-Tail hasn't really played that much professional mid in Dota 2. Obviously he did in Han, but it's very different.
Yeah, well,
there's nothing, you can't just pick Silhouette and win in this game. No, I'm kidding, of course. No-Tail's.
I don't know what Silhouette is.
There's a legendary. It's a Han hero. There's actually a legendary YouTube of No-Tail winning a game, 2 vs 5 or 3 vs 5 as the Han equivalent of Leshrac mid, which is just an amazing YouTube. But it takes a while, and I don't know. I think they should still have been trying, but I think they'll probably have No-Tail mid Misery in a support role, probably.
Yeah, perhaps, maybe, yeah, depending on where Misery is going to go, basically, what he's most comfortable with. Normally he's a bit of the carry, right? Am I wrong in that? I'm wrong in that.
Misery?
Pycat. Yeah, Misery is normally a support.
Yeah, Misery usually played support. There was a very brief period in which they were trying to have him offlane, but they switched off of it. On the new LGD int, he is actually playing offlane, I believe. So
yeah,
he swapped with Brax, who's because they gave Brax captain, so Brax can't be. It's harder to offlane and captain.
Yeah,
it's actually the hardest position to captain from.
Definitely, you have to have that helicopter view.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mostly have that as support. I like the Razor pickup by Power Rangers, by the way. Of course, to counter that OD, normally we see the Razor banned out before that's even possible, that combination. But Power Rangers, of course, I mean, if the option arises, it's there, so they picked it up. We've got a Storm ban out as well as a Chen. So removing those 2 from the game. Of course, Misery Chen is a pretty signature hero there that you don't want to be dealing with. And on top of that, No-Tail Chen. I mean, you have 2 pretty strong Chen players, so good choice banning that one out. Fnatic bans out another support. It's a Nyx Assassin removed from the pool. They still need a support for themselves. I mean, we have a Jakiro still in the pool. We've seen that one with the Naga Siren earlier, but we also still have a Bane, and it really depends on how they are going to try and lane things, because are they going to run an aggressive Trident or not? I'm not expecting to. By the way, one thing that was said, I actually never thought about that before, but because Toby said it, like, every item that people get now, where Era gets himself a kill or double kill and they get an item, it says...
It's fucking raw.
No, that's actually Fly, but it's Omega Destroyer. says. That's Era.
Wait, so it's whatever game you start the game with?
Whichever
It's
name
not,
you start the game with. Well, right now he didn't change it, did he?
Oh, that's true. He should. Well, honestly, who wouldn't want an item that says Omega Destroyer with numbers? In
Nobody
place of,
knows who that is. Like, you just want an item where Omega Destroyer got a double kill against the Power Rangers. You'd think, you know what? I don't know who that is. I don't care.
Whoever it is, he must be pretty much a pretty big deal. Anyway, Nahaz says that it's whatever, and this is actually true, I remember this now. Your items will be whatever name that person is using at the time that you look at the item. They're not fixed to anything.
Oh.
Like, I look at some of my cosmetic items that I've gotten through Dota 2 spectating, and I don't even know what some of them are, because they're from, like, players who are randomly pubbing as a different name.
Oh.
So it will say whatever they are, like, right now. So,
well, that's good to know.
So right now that he's called Omega Destroyer, every single Era item in the world says Omega Destroyer on it.
Well, that makes me feel better.
Power.
And that makes me want to, you know, say that so that I can be the person that has it right. And then argument, like, yeah. Okay, I will do that in the next game, in the next lobby, will be good. Jakiro still got picked up by Fnatic as expected. I mean, Naga, Siren, and Snare followed up by Nice Path. We already saw the Jakiro in the previous game and just offers some nice team fight, and especially if you already have an OD. Like, team fight potential-wise, Fnatic is doing pretty well for themselves. They still need an extra core to be able to divide the attention of the Razor static link. It's still going to be tricky, especially now with the Treant Protected Power Ranger. Just take us 2 months back in time. Weaver Treant is a scary thing. Razor Treant's very scary thing as well. We'll definitely be able, or should be able to win mid. Let's put it that way. Of course, it all comes down to skill in the end, still, or most of it, anyways. Fnatic, they still have quite a bit of time left in their bonus time. Not as much, Power Rangers has used a lot more so far. We're gonna see what they are gonna pick up. So far, the mids are of course revealed. We are still waiting on a carry. I'm gonna assume Weaver is gonna be on an off lane here. Would maybe be a bit too greedy. What do you think? Is Power Rangers gonna be too greedy if they pick up, or if they run Weaver off lane and still pick up another core carry? Carry core?
I think Power Rangers still do have room for a little bit extra. They did pick an extremely supporty support, like Treant Protector will be sitting way back and taking basically 0 farm allocation, so it's possible. I think they want to see how the draft is panning out before they decide on that. They could pick... I really think that for their 4th pick specifically, they need their 2nd support, and then postpone the next decision. Fnatic, though, with the Elder Titan, and Fnatic actually played this hero in a bunch of different positions, including as a tri-lane carry for Era, so it's a very versatile pick. Power Rangers do end up taking their 3rd core, though, with the Bounty Hunter. And that's kind of a hedge with regards to your question, because Bounty Hunter is a net... If you're doing well, he's a net gold increase rather than decrease in terms of the farm that's coming into your players. So it's a cool pick, but so is Elder Titan, definitely. By the way, if people aren't hearing me in-game, just can you note that they can switch the broadcaster channel? Like, I have open mic, but some people are having an issue.
Yeah, if you have an issue hearing Vigermont inside the game client, if you don't hear him, please toggle to different broadcaster, then toggle back, and you should be able to hear him again. Dota TV should be working, but it's just sometimes buggy slightly.
Yep.
What do you think that this Elder Titan is going to do then? Because I kind of like thinking about the Elder Titan as a carry. However, maybe they just want to dodge the Razor OD mid. And just put Elder Titan up against the Razor. It's not going to be ideal either for the Elder Titan, but OD is going to be free farming on the safe lane.
Yeah, Elder Titan mid is a thing. He's actually a pretty strong mid.
Yeah.
I don't know about the matchup with Razor. Static Link is going to really mess with you. On the other hand, the harassment damage from Astral Spirit might actually be enough to, if not steal a kill, at least harass Razor back enough that you're not quite as worried. But it'll be very hard to actually secure the kill with Razor potentially static linking all of your bonus damage from the Astral Spirit away.
Well, Queen of Pain gets banned out for Fnatic. Quite surprising, because that means that Power Rangers is expecting OD on the safe lane. Elder Titan on the off lane, as we have seen him there before as well in the past. And then a Queen of Pain still picked up. Yeah. Shadow Fiend will still be there, though. I have to say, like, Shadow Fiend up against Razor is not ideal for Shadow Fiend either. I think the best one would be still Elder Titan. And then have Shadow Fiend or Shadow Fiend safe laning and aggressive trialing with OD. Well, right now the only real off lane that they have is an Elder Titan, unless they run an aggressive trial lane. It's basically that.
I really think it's aggressive trialing with Elder Titan, OD safe, or OD in whichever lane the Razor isn't in, and Shadow Fiend against Razor. Shadow Fiend against Razor, it's not exactly fun, but it's not. Well, No, you're right. The ability to just go down to 0 auto attack damage is very rough, and you sort of have to use Raze to farm. But Elder Titan aggressive tri-lanes are actually quite strong, and that's what we've seen Fnatic use this hero to do. I just don't know that any other tri-lane built around either Shadow Fiend or OD is going to give them quite the punch that they want to secure an advantage and prevent Weaver and Razor from farming.
Yeah, we'll see. Elder Titan would be a hero that does that. Well, unless the aggressive tri-lane succeeds. That would be necessary for Fnatic, actually. Enigma's last pick for Power Rangers, so it's very safe for them in terms of running a safe dual lane with a Train Protector sitting behind most likely the Weaver, or Razor still in mid with Bounty Hunter on the off lane. And if Bounty Hunter is going to be up against a solo lane on the Suicide lane, that's actually pretty good for him, because then he will get his fast level 6, and maybe fast able to help out his top lane and trying to get some kills going. As of course, yeah, you're watching StarSeries, Star Ladder, Day 16, Game 4 or 5, no matter how you look, depends on how you look at it. Of course, we had a cancelled game earlier on. Second last game of the day, let's just put it that way. And of course, after this one, we'll have the game between KP and Alliance, the one that the draft is already done for. We'll link the draft before the game starts, just so you're being up to date again. Anyways, Power Rangers up against Fnatic. Power Rangers on the dire side. J4 will be playing the Enigma. We have got FNG playing the Treant Protector, Cheshire Cat on the Bounty Hunter. ZXC taking on the Razor. And then last but not least, it is the Weaver. It's played by Moon. No surprises on the side of Power Rangers so far, depending on if Moon actually rotates top, which I'm going to assume he will, but we'll find out. And I'll leave Fnatic for you.
Yep, Fnatic playing on the Radiant side. Certainly if they one of the favorites to make the playoffs, but they've had a bit of a tough season so far. They're going to really try to do their best here to take this win over Power Rangers, who did manage to upset Na'Vi, so pretty serious. We have Omega Destroyer! Era is on the Elder Titan. He's supported in the aggressive tri-lane by Fly on the Jakiro, and most likely Misery. I have to assume that Misery, after he wards, is going to rotate over. Ooh, blocking camps. So he doesn't want the Enigma to do an offensive jungle. He blocks his own camps, and we'll see Misery on the Naga head towards the top lane. That leaves Trixie going up against Cheshire Cat in the bottom lane, and this is exactly what they wanted, because OD should do very well against Bounty Hunter. If he continues to Astral Imprison him, Bounty Hunter will run out of mana to actually be able to cast Shadow Walk, and then he's going to take a lot of harassment. And that just leaves No Tail once again in the middle. I mean, you mentioned that they've moved him off, but since Hani isn't here, they will have No Tail in the middle as Shadow Fiend. This one is probably the hardest lane for Fnatic.
Yeah, and J4, indeed, as expected by Fnatic, already hanging out in the Radiant jungle. So indeed, aggressive jungling for now. They haven't seen him just yet, though. As Naz just pointed out, a Razor doesn't really have a positive ratio against the Shadow Fiend. So we'll see how he does here. And maybe there's going to be a rotation. That could be, but it's not going to be ideal either way for Power Rangers. Though they do have a safe lane, I think Moon will be fine, at least.
Oh god,
whoa.
He got the courier. He
Eidolons.
delivered bottle. No Tail did get the bottle, but no courier is brutal. The main thing J4 is doing here, check out, No Tail didn't even go for a Necromastery first because he knows they'll have 0 damage. So he's farming with Raze. So he was really counting on being able to stack and kill with Razes this easy camp. So even if J4 levels somewhat slowly due to the self-camp blocking that Fnatic did here, he'll still be able to just tremendously pressure No Tail, who now does not have access to a bottle.
Yeah, and we're going to see Misery rotating instantly to try and harass J4 away from this one. He gets harassed a lot by the Eidolons, though. And with almost level 2, with level 2 up in J4, one Malefice might be enough to just harass Misery completely home to the fountain if he gets a good positioning off. In the meantime, we have got FNG also in some trouble. I mean, he is, of course, a tree. He'll be using it to heal up the Moon, though, living armor, that is. He himself is taking a lot of harassment. He doesn't really have any regen either, so he has to be careful here. But with now Misery leaving the top lane, it's going to be easier on him.
70 damage stolen from Shadow Fiend. He's at -23, and as we all know, if you attack things with -23 attack damage, you actually heal them.
Well,
No,
you
you
wait
don't.
a second, because you shouldn't say it like it's so convincing. Because I mean, I think maybe there's gonna be people watching that watch Dota for the first time, and they're like, "Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow."
Well, that's why we have you to correct me, right?
Yep.
With anyway, no, it will not heal the creeps, but Notel this is an extremely difficult lane for him.
Yeah.
He actually has done well with this Raze first build, like he's 7 for 0, whereas I think CXC is slightly underperforming where he should be. I think he probably could have gotten maybe, well, no, actually he's fine. But Notel is keeping up just by spamming Razes and using Bottle as much as possible. Now, of course, there's a minute until they get that courier back. Good thing for Power Rangers is they also relieved a little bit of the pressure on the top lane, but Moon, even with the only facing a dual lane rather than a tri-lane, is still not doing well. I mean, he's 5 for 2 to the 14 for 4 for Era. So overall, Fnatic are getting more or less what they want, even though the middle lane is not easy.
Yeah, Notil, I mean, he's sitting on 10 assets. He's been able to get the rune just now, so that's great for him, meaning that he doesn't really need the couriers because he has his bottle full anyway. And let's see if he gets a 4-minute rune as well.
Is dead, I think, probably.
And Snares there. Living Armor will keep him up though, but can he actually go invisible? No, he can't. He does have stick charges. Now he can. There we go.
Living Armor, cool spell.
Living Armor MVP. Does take away from the Living Armor on Moon though. I mean, he has to be slightly extra careful when he knows that the Living Armor is on cooldown because it got used in a different lane. Slightly.
Yeah. No. I mean, you're absolutely right, and Weaver hasn't had the easiest time, frankly. So they've put some pressure on Shadow Fiend, but it hasn't actually been enough to prevent Notail from doing well. ZXC maybe seeking... See, that's another mistake. He takes 3 tower hits for 0 harassment on Notail.
Forced to use his self. That's his last regen also.
Yeah. If he wanted to dive, he should dive, but... tough. Rough.
Indeed.
Both tough and rough. And now Trixie... in this bottom lane, he hasn't gotten the procs and the Tranquil Boots, so he does not quite have enough to Astral Imprison Cheshire Cat again. Of course, Cheshire Cat is out of stick charges. He didn't convert it into a wand just yet. Misery steals the Invis-Rune. Nice little steal by him there. And overall, Fnatic, I think, still hitting their marks. In fact, having a dual lane top has let Era level a little bit better, so he's already halfway through level 4.
Yeah, and even though they're not killing Moon off, they're at least delaying his farm and basically shutting him down in terms of farm. He's still getting his levels. But just shutting him down is good enough for now, as we do have Misery rotating around. He wants to go for ZXC, perhaps? No, with the Invis Rune, he goes into the jungle. And I don't think he can do anything by himself here, but he's just scouting out, see what people are doing. Perhaps he can ask some help from someone, but right now I'm not sure what he thinks he can achieve. I mean, he's level 2. What's he doing? Oh, he's gonna block a camp. Well, that's at least nice. Never mind, he's not gonna even block a camp. Invis runs out. Well, okay.
Yeah. Doesn't get too much done there, but honestly, J4 just slowing down J4 a little bit might be nice. He hasn't gotten the greatest start on Enigma because he was contributing to the make Notail not do well as Shadow Fiend fund, which honestly hasn't, like, he's still even with ZXC basically. Which I'll do props to Notail. He's missed out on some XP because he's had, like, you know, supports coming in and out. He's had to heal off a couple of times because ZXC threatened to kill him, but he's done quite well for farm.
And ZXC missing all 3 last hits here now, just now. That's a kind of a disappointment for him. We have got Notail now taking the small camps and indeed stacking him up, so he'll get his extra souls there. And I think he's in a solid position, though might not be for long because we have a smoke up, Train Protector, and Enigma hanging around the mid lane. Though Notail is being very safe. Gonna pull another camp, staying away from the mid lane for now. We'll see if he continues doing that. There's a haste rune gonna be picked up by the Jakiro, and they're actually gonna try to go for this. They will dive the tower perhaps for this. In comes the static link. There's a Malefice as well. They just have to get it off. And so far, Enigma is not yet in range, and Notail has his boots and is gonna be fast enough to get himself away. Still takes a lot of harassment from ZXC. He really wants a first blood. He can get it as well because he stole 168 damage. That's gonna be first blood. In the meantime, we have a disconnect for Notail. Rage quit? No, sorry, it was not rage quit.
LOH? No, I don't think that's a rage quit. I think he just disconnected.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't know why we're not getting... I think we'll get a pause once his respawn time ends.
Yeah, there we go, just in case. We do have 4 heroes now of Power Rangers in the mid lane, by the way, because also Train Protector and Enigma, of course, are still there. Bounty Hunter came around because he got level 6. He already tracked up to Jakiro, who is, of course, not really in a position to die, but this might be a bit of a push coming out from Power Rangers, trying to force someone to come, and maybe resulting into a track kill. I mean, Bounty Hunter does have full mana for once. I mean, no OD in the lane. Happy for him. We do have Moon, by the way, left alone. He's very low, still has a living armor up on him. He's getting chased down by the Spirit. I think it's actually already ticked. Should have been already ticked. But, scary sight for Weaver, though he does have a time lapse, so he's gonna be fine. On the bottom lane.
He probably should just lapse, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see, bottom lane is fine as well. We have, by the way, Misery still level 3. The supports of Power Rangers were still level 3 as well. But of course, main difference in this one is that there is an Enigma who's actually farming, or was actually farming, he's level 5, and Jakiro, who is, of course he got some more experience because he was on a dual lane, but he's still a bit behind. He's level 4 at the moment.
Yeah, the levels aren't really as ahead as you might expect. I mean, Jakiro's doing fine. Misery is pretty much on par with where FNG is at. I think Power Rangers are in okay shape. I mean, Era, he's gotten good farm. In fact, I think Nahaz mentioned that it's like one of the best farm on Elder Titan. But of course, in almost all the Elder Titan games we've seen so far, he has not been run in a core role. I think he's... so Menace runs this guy mid a lot. I think we'll see more experiments with Elder Titan mid. I do think that this tri-lane is also pretty legitimate in some cases in an aggressive tri capacity just because of the power of the Ancestral Spirit. So we'll definitely see him in a core role more, but if he's running sort of a low farm...
Oh, mid lane, Ice Path, already done. Dual Breath going off on the Treant who tries to get himself away. No Tail goes down for the second time this game. ZXC might die for it too, though. Indeed, they get him. Era TPing and really wants to have another one. Double kill for the farming carry, Elder Titan. More tracks going off, but of course, that was a track kill up on Shadow Fiend, I believe.
Yes, and 2 straight deaths for No Tail, definitely not what he wanted at this point in the game. I think even though they lose the Razor and the Triad, this is an okay trade for Power Rangers.
Yeah, I agree. A track kill on top of just shutting down No Tail is a pretty big deal in this one. And of course, Cheshire Cat being involved in that, getting some extra experience for him. And he now takes on the farm in mid as well, so nothing is wasted on the side of Power Rangers. Neither is anything wasted on the side of Fnatic though, because we do have Fly hanging out in the mid lane. But he can't really hope to get in all too close, because he will probably die. Moon got some free time while Era was away. Not that much though. Era did get level 6, but Moon sitting at level 7, so slightly experience ahead for him. 32 for 5 for the Weaver, with Era sitting on 39 for 10. So a lot closer than what it was before.
Yeah, I think Power Rangers, they are getting farm on some heroes. Shadowfiend now ahead of ZXC, which is crazy to me, but the main issue is Trixie hasn't really been held down. Era obviously participated in 2 kills already, so that's a fantastic way to start for him. They did give a lot of free space to Moon when they rotated everybody to mid to try to take that fight and not just have No Tail punished for nothing. But overall, I think Fnatic's still definitely advancing their plans. Once Trixie finishes the mechanism, which should be very, very close, yeah, he's about 300 off, I think Fnatic can transition to a pretty scary 5-push that I'm not sure, unless a Great Black Hole comes off, I'm not sure if Power Rangers will be able to stop them from taking at least 2 outer towers.
Well, the Great Black Hole might just be around the corner. At least there's a BKB being rushed up by the Enigma. Of course, he has Brown Boots, but after that, he went for the Ogre Club. No mechanism, though, and then they leave probably the tree to build it later on. But for now, they won't have anyone actually building that. We have a lot of people coming top, by the way. 5 people right now for Power Rangers on the top lane. They either really want to take down Air or just want to take down the tower. I think that Era is going to be a tough cookie to take, but the tower should be doable. We have a rotation from Cheshire Cat coming behind the tier 1 tower. And I think it's kind of obvious that everybody is missing from the map on the side of Power Rangers, but we'll see how they deal with that.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I think Power Rangers are also seeking to do a little pushing before Fnatic hit those item marks. I mean, the fact is, Enigma,
they go for
great
this.
pusher.
Yeah, Malef is there as well. He really wants to try and get a black hole going up on
Black
2.
hole.
Oh, interrupted by the Ice Path. Brilliant Ice Path placement. Was a bit probably not really intended. Cheshire Cat gets a living armor. Sentry Ward goes down. They still try to chase him down, but with the living armor, they might not be able to. He really wants to get the kill. Gets himself a kill. Track kill at that. In the meantime, the rest of the fight still continuing on as the OD drops his ulti. Tries to make sure that he gets some kills. Wants to go for J4. We already have got the Shadow Fiend and the Naga Siren down, and the OD not able to take down the Enigma. In comes the Astral Spirit. Maybe gets himself a tree.
Well,
only so far
yeah, FNG has no chance. He has no boots.
Yeah. Well, he's gonna
How
get
did he
left
get
alone
Moon?
for now. Going for
Oh,
Moon.
no.
Astral Imprisonment actually helps him out a little bit. He has got
Really
a Shikushi, and they're actually having the Bounty Hunter back in this. They're gonna go for this. They're gonna go for, again, Era! They're gonna get Era for the second time in a row! Big pickups here for Power Rangers.
Wow, Fnatic got really outplayed in this fight. Really, really, really outplayed.
They were a bit undecisive.
Yeah, well,
like.
yeah, they completely split the fight. Era and Fly ran off to chase Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter ends up getting the kill on Era, forcing a buyback out. Then Fnatic tries to do the straight-up team fight. Power Rangers squeak out of it and then turn around and get more kills. So, doing an amazing job of just kiting Fnatic. And that was with a completely whiffed black hole.
Imagine what they can do with it.
Because it made Fnatic think that they had the fight well in hand.
It was really well played by Power Rangers, but kind of sloppy also from Fnatic, so I'm not sure who I should give the credit to most here. But still, Power Rangers realizing the mistake and, of course, making sure that they profit from it. So that's a good thing regardless, as we have a stump slowing down S4. We still have Era on the top lane. I mean, he just died twice. Oh, wait a second. No, Tail. God, he's gonna down. Oh my god, he dies again.
That's really bad. They're doing... Cheshire Cat is playing amazingly, by the way. This Bounty Hunter is weaving in and out of fights, getting the... Even more so than Weaver, lol. But, like, he's really getting in there, getting those tracks off, finding out, scouting out No-Tail, who now has 4 deaths to his name. This is exactly what you need to do as Shadow Fiend. Take advantage of his anti-snowballing properties. Like, when you're losing, having a Shadow Fiend on your team can make you lose harder. And Fnatic all of a sudden looking extremely shaky after those poor fights and a little bit lack of positioning relative to Bounty Hunter, who can just, you know, hunt you for bounties.
Yeah, and of course track kills all over the place. By the way, I mentioned earlier that I didn't know who was going to be the mechanism on Power Range, but it's actually Razor. He already has a buckler, he has the headdress, it just needs 200 more gold for the recipe. And if he gets his tower, actually, he will get it, unless Fly gets a deny in.
I love this choice, by the way, because it'll let Enigma go to BKB, which is going to be very useful for him. And Razor with mech is actually... Oh, no. I hope he gets this kill. It's going to be tricky. He got it.
Slightly mistiming from Fly, I guess.
Razor really needs a bit of tankiness that he doesn't have himself because his strength gain is 1.7. So mech is an amazing item for your mid-carry Razor, like semi-carry Razor. It's kind of like OD, except you don't get mana back.
Yeah, and as Nahaz just said, I mean, the average death for an entire game is 4.3 deaths for Shadow Fiend. He's already sitting at 4 and 12 minutes into the game. His net worth is below that of the Elder Titan. It's only, like, it's lowest of all the cores in this game, basically. Including, and I'm counting Enigma here as a core, and that means they were only having 1 hero of Power Rangers counted as a support in terms of net worth, and all other 4 are sitting in the top 5. That's insanely good for Power Rangers, and Trackkill, of course, definitely helping for that one. And even Tree is the richest of the supports there. And there's only 1 tower down thus far.
Gotta say, Power Rangers really pulling it together. If you can... It's gotta be a pretty big confidence booster. This is a team that I've been, like, saying is gonna make an impact for, I think, like, 3 Star Ladder seasons, and maybe this is the season? I don't know.
Yeah, and J4, as for Imprisons, tries to TP himself out, but not gonna happen. Ice Path will set up for a kill. That should be a nice, at least, pickup for Fnatic. They still lost a tower, though, Fnatic that is, and Cheshire Cat ends up living. And
maybe
they
2
rotated
towers.
5 heroes to do this.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that's not gonna be worth it, especially not if they're gonna lose the tier 1 bottom. Then it
Which they definitely will,
Yes.
I think, yeah.
There's no way
They do
they're gonna
have
give this up.
4 TPs, none of which are on cooldown. So, if Fnatic can get this fast enough, maybe they can punish... Nope, they're not even going to kill it before Power Rangers do. Yeesh, not a great situation. They're not by any means over. Like, the upside potential of Outworld Devourer is enormous, and even though he did mess up that last fight with the really bad Astro Imprisonment, Trixie hasn't died, he's close to 4 staff, he can move on to his, probably Treads, and then, Scythe of Ice from there. So OD will have a big impact this game, no question. And I still think Shadow Fiend can come back. I still think Elder Titan can do a lot.
I think Fly is in some trouble. Ice Path misses. He tries to TP himself out. There is a Shuriken toss, though. And Fly, I don't think he can run from this. Courier comes past, is still bringing... No, he didn't actually get the sentry wards. Well, I don't think that would have made a difference. But that's a solo track kill for Cheshire Cat. And this is a bounty hunter that's gonna get very scary very soon. He has 4 of the kills thus far. All 4 track kills. All 4... last hits. 0 assists, by the way. But this can be turning into more than just an offlane bounty hunter real soon. And in the meantime, tier 2 tower bottom lane already down to past half HP. We have got OD TPing in to try and defend it, but next time the push happens for Power Rangers, that's gonna be a dead tower.
Yeah. I mean, I think Power Rangers are effectively chasing Fnatic around the map. They're avoiding set-piece fights whenever they can, and when they get into set-piece fights, they try to play with the positioning a little bit, like spread it out, pull as far away as possible. because within like a 1,000-ish unit radius circle, Fnatic can blow anybody up almost instantaneously, right? Because they have 3 Razes, Requiem of Souls, Jakiro, OD, Elder Titan. All these people can project a crap ton of damage within a confined area. So Power Rangers need to try to avoid that if at all possible. Wow, what a nice... God, Cheshire Cat is playing well. Did you see that?
Yep, he dodged the ensnare. We just, like, there's the fade time, of course, up on the Shadow Walk, so it's not easy to do. And then the Ice Path and the Dust, of course, get wasted as well. So now he knows that the Dust is on cooldown, so he can just stick around here if he wants to. The tower gets healed up. There's no fortification, but they might try to fight. There's already a track off. In comes Cheshire Cat, already turned on Eye of the Storm. Goes for the Elder Titan. Malefice is already there. No chill, ramping up the ulti, but the BKB caught him. It's the only one that he catches. And Snare will cancel the Black Hole. So far, Mechanism already popped. No chill will end up going down. Naga Siren as well. 2-4-0 thus far. Trixie, can he make something happen? Fly trying to help out Fly, living for now, but Moon chasing him down. There's gonna be another track he'll add it there, as there's 4 dead on the side of Fnatic, and it could be 5. Trixie tries to get something in return. At least he gets a tree for his troubles, but he goes down. 5 for 1 tree. Power Rangers, they're doing amazingly well in this game. Fnatic looking not so solid.
This is maybe the best I've ever seen Power Rangers play, actually. A lot of the games we see them win are sometimes like they just outpick, or like they get a really, or like Navi decides to pick Bloodseeker into them, things like that. This is just pure, extremely high level play, especially the way that they're manipulating the positioning of the fights. Again, like I was just talking about this, Fnatic landed both Sanity's Eclipse and Earth Splitter, but they never landed them on the entire team. And No-Tail was spamming Requiem of Souls. He only hit 1. I mean, he had 2, but one person was BKB'd. And that's all due to Power Rangers just coming in, coming out, splitting the fight, moving Fnatic into unfavorable positions, forcing them to duel, which is a very unfavorable prospect. Like, you can't duel against the team that has the Treant. Like, in a 1v1 fight, the guy that has the living armor on him is going to win, right?
Yep.
Oh, man. This is... And Cheshire Cat, like, he doesn't have a BKB, and yet he's taking barely any magic damage in these fights, just because he's maneuvering so effectively. I don't know, I'm stunned at how well they're playing. They're playing like a tier 1 team when they're really not, usually.
Yeah, they're normally described as a hit or miss team, but they've been hitting a lot lately. Let's just put it that way. ZXC is gonna be versed down.
Yeah.
Nice pickup for Fnatic. Needed pickup for Fnatic as well, especially if they're able to get a tower off this. I mean, no Razor doesn't necessarily mean no fight, but no BKB, or sorry, no Black Hole and no Razor, that's gonna be probably no fight.
He's the mech carrier, so I don't think they should fight without him.
And then, I mean, that's a good one for Fnatic to get. This is the second tower that they get. They only need one more tier 1 tower to be even on towers again. And Fnatic need that gold, because they need that core gold up, especially for the Shadow Fiend that really needs, like, really can use all the help that he can get. He already has a Blink Dagger, but it doesn't really offer anything apart from positioning, which is basically, for now, this fight, or these fights for Fnatic have been poor positioning, or really well positioning from Power Rangers, but yeah.
I'm thinking about this Vanguard for Era, and I'm not sure how much I love it, really. I saw the Ring of Health very early, and I was like, that's interesting, maybe he'll go... You can't really go Refresher that early, because you won't have the mana for it. And Lincoln's seemed kind of iffy, so I was like, maybe he's going Vanguard, but it will keep him alive. If he's dueling, he will be able to stay alive against things like Razor, Bounty Hunter. The issue is, all he has is Vanguard, right? And it's 19 minutes in, and this was a tri-laned Elder Titan. So sure, it'll be nice for him to bash away with that Astral Spirit and be able to survive a little longer, but Power Rangers are beginning to sort of eclipse just that Vanguard thing. I mean, Cheshire Cat as well on the way to BKB. Weaver has a completed BKB waiting for him in his stash. Enigma has had BKB, and Razor has BKB. So all of a sudden your OD doesn't do anything. Your Elder Titan does very little, because he, all he has is a Vanguard. And Shadow Fiend, I mean, Blink Shadow Fiend? What auto attack damage is he going to do? He's all magic.
Have they, J4, see the positioning. Did they see him?
I don't think they saw him, because that was a friendly ping.
Wow. Oh, No-Tail.
They know.
No, they don't. No, they don't. Oh, this is so exciting.
Oh, no.
For J4, he walks out a bit too early, though. Only gets No-Tail. With the Malefice, No-Tail taking a lot of damage. In comes a Song, saving his life. No-Tail still with the Malefice. In comes an Ice Path, up on 2, still not the Black Hole, though, and there he comes! Up on 3, but already interrupted. In comes the Overgrowth still, though. No-Tail tries to land the ultimate, but it's gonna be too late. Goes down before he can. Trixie in a lot of trouble. Static Link doesn't help him out one bit. ZXC Double kill for him, Moon. Double kill for him. Actually, J4 and Moon get a double kill. We have got the only one left alive right here, tracked up and ready to die if Moon has his way. Can he get himself a triple kill? Era running for his life. Luckily for him, he is fast enough, but he is the only survivor. This time, the bounty hunter does go down. He's the only one that dropped, though. It was a good black hole, nice and snare on time. Naga Siren, good positioning from him. But in comes the overgrowth, and I mean, nobody can get away. And then you don't have your Shadow Fiend with your Requiem of Souls before he dies, and it's.
I don't think it was the ensnare. It had to have been the Earth Splitter, I think, that interrupted the black hole.
Okay.
Because he caught Naga in it. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the Earth Splitter. So yeah, really, it was a good Earth Splitter placement. But again, that time Fnatic basically landed the combo. But we were just talking about these BKBs, right? And damn, those BKBs were useful there for Enigma and for Weaver. They've gotten another BKB since that fight.
Yep.
Now on Razor.
And
Bounty Hunter did die, but he'll get his eventually as well.
And next time, the Blink Dagger is actually there on Enigma. He got that one after the last fight, and we already saw, I mean, look, imagine the difference that Blink Dagger could have made in the previous fight. I mean, he was hiding. If he could have blinked him Black Hold, that would have been insane. He had to walk in and unfortunately have maybe a less optimal Black Hold, though he still caught 3, which was pretty nice. But with a Blink Dagger, that would have been pretty scary. Would have been even scarier. I was gonna say would have been scary, but I think Fnatic was already quite scared at the end there. I mean, Elder Titan, the only one to live through that, and I mean, he's not gonna be able to carry this game. Really, he needs the Shadow Fiend to be big. He needs his OD to be big. And Shadow Fiend, I mean, we already saw him buying the Blink Dagger. Still no real damage coming out from him, and he's gonna buy the BKB next. So still no real damage coming out from him.
No, No Tail has been nullified very effectively by Power Rangers. I was surprised at how well he did against Razor in the very early game, but ever since then, Power Rangers have just been pouring on the damage. And Fnatic, I mean, I think they felt that their combo was stronger than it's so far proven to be. I mean, Naga Sleep into OD, SF Ultimate, OD Ultimate, Chikiro Ultimate, or Elder Titan Ultimate should be the mother of all combos, but so far, it's done almost nothing.
Oh, Blink, Malefice. Trixie, already set a Blink, in comes a clap, but it doesn't work on ZXC. ZXC still stealing damage, just keeps running. Oh, Ice Path, that will stop him. Gets 170 damage though, so that means the tower will definitely drop. That's at least something. I have the Storm Puff for that as well. They do back off in the end though, knowing that they don't really have their full... Yeah, they don't really have their full fighting potential. They don't have a Black Hole, and they don't really have Bounty Hunter there either, so every kill that they would get, not a track kill, so not worth it perhaps.
Well, they didn't have to, so all they used was the low cooldown Razor Ultimate. So it cost them almost nothing and they got a tower. So it's actually a pretty great trade for Power Rangers. I don't know, I'm looking at Fnatic and trying to figure out what the hell they do at this point, and it's not trivial to determine. At the very least, they need to slow the game down tremendously. Like, you simply can't, with this group of heroes, well, no, I mean, they do have the combo potential, but it has to be essentially perfect, and I'm not sure Fnatic are feeling confident enough now to actually land that perfect combination on Power Rangers, unless Power Rangers leaves them an opening. And that means that they need a hell of a lot more farm for No Tail to make this work. And that means they have to protect him.
Blink Malefice, Elder Titan, maybe in some trouble. In comes a lead sheet. Ice Path stops the Treant from doing anything though. In case he wanted to go for an overgrowth and all of a sudden he might be in trouble. No, he's not. No, Nature's Guy's
too strong.
Sentry Ward goes down, but he's out of range right now. Oh, now he's in range again, but they will not be able to be fast enough, or will they? Nope. Gets himself out in time. Has got that haste rune helping out. He comes in a snare up on ZXC. Another Malefice up on No Tail. Still with that haste rune. Oh, for growth.
Tracks in the back.
Ooh, is it enough though? Trixie gets himself static linked. Tries to go for ZXC. He gets locked in an ice path. Still the static link going through. BKB's turned on. Still the static link. Over 200 damage stolen already. Trixie, you're dead. On to Misery. One hit. Can ZXC get more? Still extra fast. Goes for Misery. Trick kill. Another one. Added to the board. Double kill. Nice ice path. Stopping more from happening. ZXC not so mad to drive that tower, but 2 for 2 in the end. Not even that bad for Fnatic considering the 200 attack damage ZXC.
Yeah, without the ice path, actually Zix isn't... Does he have Splitter? No, he doesn't. He doesn't have the mana for it. Oh, that's too bad. Splitter could have probably gotten the kill. I actually think that without that ice path, they just lose 4 and lose the tier 2. So, Fly, I mean, Nahaz mentioned earlier, this is one of his best heroes, this Chikiro. And he definitely was worth his weight in gold there. Actually, he had multiple critical ice paths. It wasn't just that last one.
No, that one halfway as well.
Really good one right here on ZXC.
Yeah, I agree. slowing him down, allowing Trixie to do some more damage and actually get himself a kill, I believe. In the end, we're helping with the kill, I should say. But yeah, we have got Fnatic in a quite tough position. They're 10k behind on gold, they're 12k behind on experience, which of course results into level 15 on 2 heroes of Power Rangers. And of course, I say level 15, but the level 16 is gonna really be a difference here, especially for the when Shadowfiend gets his level 16. But I mean, also Eye of the Storm, it's gonna be up soon, and with this Roshan should actually be leveling up to 16. We'll see how close he actually gets. It's a tough position to be in, and actually we might see a fight here for Roshan. We know that Fnatic knows, but they're gonna be too late. Perhaps they still want to do something against it? No, they're just running for their lives right now.
Yeah.
Ice Path will allow them to do so.
I don't think Power Rangers are scared of chasing Fnatic here.
Oh, not at all.
And Razor, he's building Aghanims, and I think this is a very good decision. I think it'll give them the extra pushing capability. What has Weaver done? I hope Dezo. Yeah, full Dezo. Yeah, it's looking really grim if you're a Fnatic fan, honestly. They gotta really just have amazing positioning, amazing combo. They have to land every ultimate, and it has to be dramatically useful.
Yeah, no pressure.
No, yeah, it's a lot of pressure, honestly, because this is... How many losses do they have, Sheever? Like 3 or 4?
They actually are sitting off... Wait a second. After this fight, I was planning on bringing it up, but it's also always been so close to fighting. We actually have got Cheshire Cat almost dead. He will get brought down. He comes still on Overgrowth. We still have Misery trying to go for the song, but that doesn't work out with the Razor being there. Trixie will be asked for imprisonment himself next, but will be caught in the black hole. Fly will go down. No Tail trying to run forward. In comes the Sanity's Eclipse, the Splitter. Well, how much can it do? Not enough. Not enough. OD goes down. Team wipe. Everybody died. Ultra kill for ZXC with 224 damage stolen and only Bounty Hunter going down. Second time this has happened. And Power Rangers all looking solid. Power Rangers who are sitting on 3-2. Played 5 games, lost 2. So they're still looking good, especially for a team that is not considered to be...
Razor. Okay, thank you. Jesus.
What?
He was sitting on low ground, whipping the tower, and he keeps missing. Stop that. He can get his Aghanims now because of the Ultra Kill, by the way.
Yeah. But I mean, Power Rangers are still doing very well. They're not a team that is considered to be in the top 4, but they're actually looking to be a lot more close than Fnatic right now. Because
Right.
Fnatic...
So, sorry, how many losses did you say for Fnatic?
Fnatic has 4, and in theory, like past times have proven that you can't really have more than 4 losses if you want to be in the top 4. And right now, it's not looking good.
But you
for
can
Fnatic.
have 7 losses to make the playoffs.
Yeah, depending on how many people cancel.
Yeah.
How many teams cancel. But in
I'm just messing.
Yeah, but you're right. Well, it really depends. Fnatic so far, they're not looking hot, and this season, normally this season is not a season that people cancel for. This is not a busy season for the teams in terms of offline finals or anything like that, or extra boot camps for the international or things like that they would cancel for. Exactly. No traveling to China. But
And I think Kaipi, if they get in, this time they'll go, probably, too.
I would assume so. I would assume that they would have a sponsorship by then as well, because, I mean, they're doing incredibly well without it.
Don't. I'm shocked that they still don't.
Well, they're still waiting for the best offer, I think.
Clearly, yeah.
We might have some trouble for Trixie, by the way. Trixie thinks he has a chance here, but in comes Cheshire Cat, in comes a Malefice, Trax, Moon with a lot of damage, and that will be Misery, already dead, getting chased down. Now they can go up on Trixie, pops a Ghost Scepter, still trying to run for this, still has a track up though. There is still Cheshire Cat around there slowing down Trixie, and that should be a kill. There we go. That's 2 pickups, just randomly done. Casual pickups and a tower, tier 2 tower on the top lane. And I would say Power Rangers can actually try to push up high ground with this.
Do they have Aegis still? No, right?
No.
Or they still do? Oh, man. Yeah, they have 3 minutes on this freaking thing. Yeah.
High ground. Why not?
No, absolutely. Absolutely high ground.
Nice Ice Path, but it doesn't really matter. Still a stomp. Moon taking some damage from the tower for it, but he still has a time lapse. He's fine.
Yeah, but look
he
at
has
that,
an
can't run
Aegis.
from heaven. So much damage on this barracks.
It's insane. GG gets called Fnatic. They tap out. Fnatic are now have 5. They do now have 5 losses in StarSeries.
Yeah, Fnatic are really gonna. I mean, if they don't make playoffs, they're gonna look back at this game and say this was a winnable game that we thought. Like, I don't know. It's really rough to lose a game against a team that you probably feel you have vastly superior mechanics than, and lose it not because you had a vastly worse draft, but because you just get outmaneuvered and outplayed in teamfights.
How much do you think depends
sobering.
on?
But they did have a stand-in, so.
Yeah, how much do you think depends on that?
I don't think Misery played badly.
Do you think No-Tail played badly in mid lane?
I don't think No-Tail had a great game. I don't think Era played. I think Era and Trixie made some avoidable errors, honestly.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't know. They're all really strong players. Like they're all. I don't feel it's my place to criticize the individual execution, so much as to say that Power Rangers just had a really, really great game, and their position. I think Fnatic were really caught off guard by just how crisp the team fights were.
Yeah.
Because you never expect that with a less experienced, less strong team, that they'll be good in the chaotic, big, weird situations.
Well, Power Rangers deliver once again. Of course, we're gonna go on to the dessert, as people have been calling it in the chat. It is KP vs Alliance. Draft is already done. I'm gonna link it to you in the chat just a moment from now. So stay tuned for Alliance vs KP. We'll be right back.